So boys and girls, we have a new featured author. Her name is Erica Pearl.
Featuring an author on a class bulletin board is great.
Let's share this book today called Dottie that she wrote.
Enjoying one of her books together is even better.
13, she silently added. Whose nose did she want to count? Dottie.
Meeting her in person,
Erica.
amazing.
Our featured author's here.
Author visits may seem like just fun and games, but they can have a major impact on students.
Students will sit in rapt attention, listening, engaging, asking questions, and if that author will talk to those students as fellow writers, it is so affirming.
I thought we could read Dottie together and I could tell you a little bit about kind of how I wrote it. And I could hear about the kind of stuff that you guys are writing. Maybe we could even do some writing together. What do you think? Now, everyone here brought their imagination today, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot mine's at home.
You left your imagination at home? That's not good. You're going to have to go get it right now.
Reading aloud to students engages them with the written word and gets them excited about books.
So when Ida started school, she took her new lunchbox and... I am a huge fan of reading aloud, and I really believe that it should be the most fun part of a teacher or a parent's day. Because if you're enjoying it, I think kids will enjoy it. So I think that getting excited about the books that you're sharing, getting silly with them, I think that's all hugely important. Say it all together. Ready? Wham!
Writing can seem a daunting task to students. And while teachers can offer a lot of guidance, instruction, and practice, a published author has real-world weight behind her words.
Because they all start with an idea, right? And so in the case of Dottie, when I was growing up, I had all these friends, right? Friends just like you guys, all right? But I also had some friends that not everybody else could see. What do you think is a good thing about a friend that nobody else can see?
You have real friends, but some kids make fun of you that you don't have friends, but you really do.
And an imaginary friend, would they ever make fun of you?
No.
No way. When I go and talk to kids about writing, I always tell them that the thing about writing fiction is that it has to have a truth in it. It has to have an emotional truth. And so for me, in every book that I write, there's an emotional truth that comes from my life and my experience. And so with Dottie, the story of having an imaginary friend was a story that I could relate to when I look back on my own experience as a kid. I was always worried if people knew about Sadie and Dottie, they would say, oh my goodness, have you heard about Erica? Bah, ha, ha. And they would laugh. So I didn't tell people, but I always wrote my ideas down or I drew them. And so this is sort of a storyboard of the story of Dottie. And as you can see, I did these little sketches, like here's Ida here, she's walking to school. And then there's Dottie, who still looks sort of like a goat.
Erica is showing the students that there are many ways to start writing, and they don't always involve using words.
Drawing my ideas out, because sometimes that's how I get my ideas flowing. And then, usually I write the words down in one of my journals. Do you guys do this? Raise your hand if you do this. Do you guys write stuff down just in writer's notebooks? Because my idea is if you don't write it down, it kind of flutters away. But I don't just write stories in it, and I like it to get good and messy.
The Writer's Notebook is a great tool for encouraging daily writing from students. Keeping it free from grading and the red ink of a correction pen helps students see it as a pressure-free outlet for their ideas.
And then, sometimes I will get on the computer. Raise your hand if you ever get on the computer and do some writing there. Yep. And I start taking my ideas and putting them onto paper on the computer. And then I go through and I change things, little things here and there. I revise it. Do you guys revise?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Yes? Yes. Yes? Good, because if you're revising, you're writers. That's a huge part of the writing process. You don't just show up day one and write and you're done.
Revising can be one of the trickiest things for students to understand, but it's also one of the most important steps in the writing process. Learning that a professional writer has to revise, often multiple times, is a terrific learning experience for young writers. Not even professional adult authors are perfect.
Because I never get it just the way I want the first time, and so I start kind of changing it around. So I go through it a million zillion times, changing ideas, and you'll see that some of these things ended up in Dottie and some of them didn't. And I also read it out loud to kids.
A key component to the revising process is peer editing. Once the students understand how to give constructive feedback, sharing their work with each other will result in stronger writing and more confident writers. And this is a message Erica is happy to underscore.
Then I take that. Sometimes I talk to some of my grown-up writer friends, and sometimes I talk to my kid writer friends, and we all talk about how the story could get better. like a big collaboration. Do you guys do that? Do you share your work with each other? Yeah. Again, another important part of the writing process is sharing your work. So now we're going to make a story together. Yay! Okay. I know you all brought your
Group writing
imaginational
a story with
borrowed
students
Everyone,
is a
please turn
great
your
way to have
imagination on.
fun while checking their understanding of story elements.
What does a story need to have? Yes.
Characters.
Characters. Okay, so we gotta have some characters. Okay, what else? Wait, let's write this all down.
Words.
Characters.
Words. Setting.
And setting, okay.
Words.
We're gonna put
Plot.
plot. What does plot mean?
Beginning, middle, and end.
Beginning, middle, and end. Everybody give me some beginning, middle, and end. Beginning, middle, and end. Yeah. Okay. Plot.
The theme.
Theme. Okay, theme. What does theme mean?
What it's all about. Oh, the lesson.
The message. What has to happen in the middle? Does something have to happen in the middle of the story to make it dramatic or surprising? Drama would be good. Yep. Some sort of, thank you, say that again. Problem. We have to have a problem. And solution. Okay.
Erica is going to keep the class active by having each student represent an element of the story.
Okay. I'm going to need 2 people to be the characters. Okay, you and you.
Giant diapers.
A baby with giant diapers. No.
Superman.
Superman. Okay, we got Superman and a princess. Superman and princess. Excellent. Okay. Setting, what are you guys going to be?
I want to be the tree.
You're a tree, good. So we're sort of outdoors.
Ice castle.
No, I'm gonna be the boy.
A boy, okay.
Oh, maybe a guard.
A guard, like a castle guard?
Yeah, like a castle.
Castle guard and a tree. Who's going to be our problem? You 2 are going to be our problem. Come up here, problems. What are the problems?
yes.
2 problems.
A giant monster is going to attack the
A
city.
giant monster is a pretty good problem. Do you guys want to be a giant monster?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We got a giant monster and we got a castle in the woods. Let me just put giant monster behind you. What's our theme going to be?
If you're mean to someone, then someone will be mean to you.
When you help other people, they might help you back.
Those kind of fit together. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I like that's sort of like 2 sides of the same coin.
Once upon a time in a land far, far away, it was a queen in a castle and her mother, and then it was a green, ugly, smelly, one-eyed monster.
Okay, let's pause for a second so we can see that. We've got the princess and we've got the queen right here.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the monster. Where's the monster? There's the monster. Let's see some monstering. Yeah, good. Okay. Now.
Cards. Omar. He came in. He tried to stop the monster, but the monster was too big and too strong.
Okay, we've got conflict going on. Clearly, the monster is having a conflict with the guard. Let's see where we are so far, you guys. Are we at the beginning, the middle, or the end of the story?
Erica pauses the story because while the students are enthusiastic and engaged, it's important to make sure they also understand the story elements they're acting out.
We've got the beginning, right? We've got the middle. Problem. How are we going to end it? How are we going to resolve this? And let's remember, what's our theme? What's our theme? Who said our theme so beautifully? You said our theme so beautifully. Say it again.
When you help somebody, when you're nice to somebody, then someone will be nice back.
We'll be nice back.
I think the monster has been nice because Superman takes the thorn out.
Okay, let's see that part acted out.
The monster comes.
The monster's in pain.
Boys up in here.
Superman, go help. Where's the thorn? Who's being the thorn? There you go. Good. Very good. Thorn removing. Excellent.
Can we, like, he starts fighting and then he just thinks, why is he fighting me? And then he puts his foot up and he sees it.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. So you discover it.
Yeah, he
Okay.
discovers.
So you discover the thorn in position. Okay, and you discover that there's a thorn in his tentacle. So Superman pulls the thorn from the tentacle. Okay. And then the monster says, thank you. Oh, awesome. That was really good. And then the princess and queen say,
And then,
You're my hero!
great. And how does the story end?
and then
Superman and the princess get married.
How about they all
Live
happily ever after.
Have friends and eat imaginary ice cream cones together. Yeah, and then they dance. And now, can everybody give me a nice at the end bow? Ready? 1, 2, 3. The end.
For now.